All right, today we're going to learn about how to use Google Maps. Now, in our literature class, we are studying The Grapes of Wrath, and it is a novel that is a journey. The characters take a journey. They begin in a spot, which is Oklahoma, in the case of The Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck, and they eventually end up in the Weed Patch Migrant Farm Worker Camp in California. But they have many stops along the way and things happen at each stop. So we're going to use Google Maps to show the Joad family journey. And I'm going to show you here quickly how you can map out the journey that the Joad family took along their journey. So you start at your Chrome page and you click on the Google Apps icon. You'll find Maps. You click on Maps. Then you go up here in your upper left-hand corner and you will click the three lines. Go to Saved. And here you'll find favorites, start places, want to go, travel plans. These are lists. You're going to be creating a list of places that the Joad family stopped at along their journey. So you're going to create a new list. You have to give your list of places that you will stop at a name. We will call this the Joad family journey. And then always the grapes of wrath. And we're going to create this. As you see on the side here, it has the map list title that you've given it. You'll want to give it some sort of description. And remember that the Joad family drove in their jalopy. Below, you'll see where you can add your first place. You'll click on that. You want to search for your place. Now, we happen to know that the first place that the Joads were at was their original home in Oklahoma. That was in Salazar, Oklahoma. And you'll see a menu of different places. So we don't know the exact home address. This was a fictional family, but we chose the town of Salazar, Oklahoma. And if you see here, you can write something about it. So we'll say, this is the original hometown or home of the Joad family. Add another place. They went to Payton, Oklahoma next. Unfortunately, what happened there was the family dog was killed. Next place. We'll skip some places here just so you can get the idea. Eventually, on Route 66, which is now Route 40, they had to go to the town of Santa Rosa in New Mexico. And the reason was the jalopy had broken down. And they needed to get a new part for the car. skipping all the way to, they get to the top of Tehachapi, the Tehachapi Pass, and it's there the family looks down uh, upon what they described as the Great Green Valley, which is ironic because if you happen to live in anywhere in the San Joaquin Valley or Bakersfield, you know that it's green, but it's also quite brown. And the last place, their final destination, is the Weed Patch Camp in Weed Patch, California. And this is where the Jode family ends their journey and finally gets housing. It is still in existence today. When you're finished, you will go back and you will see that your journey will have many more places than what we have here, but you'll see each one. This is the destination. This is where they ended up, and down here is where they started. Get that out of the way for you. There are layers as well that you can add to your map. We'll choose traffic, which will show us the routes, the actual roads. And this is what used to be Route 66. It's very famous. Has now turned into Route I-40. And now you can, if you'd like, start at the location where they began their journey. Click on directions. If you go up here, it shows you, you'll want to reverse this because your starting point is in Oklahoma and your destination was the Weed Patch Camp. And then you get the great thing that Maps gives you. You get your route. You see we start here in Salazar. You can click through the pictures and it gives you a little idea of what it looks like now. And there's Payden. Not much to see in Payden, but we get a good idea. Here is Santa Rosa. We can go up here to the Tehachapi Pass. And then eventually here at the Weed Patch Camp. And you can click on it and you can actually see the housing that still exists to this day, although it's been quite modernized, that they use for migrant farmers. Here's a picture right here of the actual Okies when this camp was first created for them. Pretty neat. Click on here because this is the route that we want to take, and it will give us directions from Oklahoma all the way to Weed Patch Camp. You will notice that it stays on the I-40. And if you look here, it tells you that if you were to drive currently from Oklahoma to the Weed Patch Camp in California, it would take you approximately in driving time a little over 21 hours. Now on a jalopy, probably looking at more like 30 to 40 hours. And then you have to include the time that they stopped and slept. So if you add that all up, it actually ends up being about a 4 to 5 day trip. that the Joad family had to take to get from Oklahoma to California. And when you do this assignment, you, of course, are going to make sure to put every stop that is mentioned in the novel in the correct order on this route, on this map. Now we can go back, click on Saved. Here's our saved map. And we want to share this. You're going to be sharing that with me. So you click Share. You can send a link to me, and it will send me the link, and I will be able to, and here's the link here, copy it, and then you can paste it and send it to me through Google Classroom, and make sure to include your name in your title here, and I will see your version of the journey that the Joads took in the Grapes of Wrath. So not only can we see all the places that the characters stopped in this fictional novel with places that were actually real, but all I have to do when I get it is again, oops, go down to the beginning and I'll click on directions, and I can do the same up here. Switch it because I'm starting in Salzah, ending at the Weed Patch Camp. And I can see the directions. I can see the approximate amount of miles and the approximate amount of time, driving time, that the Joads would have had to taken to get to California. That's just one way that we can use maps in the English literature course, but you can also use it just to get anywhere you need to go. Really simple.